Alright, let's keep going. This one's called Maroon Communities Feel Left Out Emancipation Festivities. Maroon communities in St. James are complaining of being sidelined yet again as the rest of the parish in Jamaica by extension ramp up preparations for the Emancipation Jubilee tomorrow. The people of Maroon-Town and Flagstaff argue that they play little to no part in the special annual celebrations that recognize the abolition of slavery on August 1, 1834. Residents told the Western Star that they feel shunned despite the fact that the communities and surrounding districts played pivotal roles in the fight for freedom during and after the time of one of Jamaica's national heroes, Sam Sharp. Quote unquote, it's big emancipation and local on the community. Nothing not going up here, said Donald Stewart. The ball ground where little something could have gone not even cut yet. The grave where the British them bear want rake and clean up, and nobody arrived the people them for something had gone. Residents said that they get upset when they witness millions of dollars being put on Grand Gals in Montego Bay and Kingston each year. Yet not even a fraction of the community of the money spent to spruce up indigenous Maroon communities. Quote unquote, it's up here so the historical side them there. Up here so the Maroons had to fight for freedom. You see, first things used to be better because every year them used to have a 6-a-side football, children's treat, and elders come out to enjoy themselves. This was years ago. Nowadays we don't see anything, nothing go on, said President Davia Scott. Flagstaff is home to the Heritage Tours Visitor Center, which was opened in 2009, which was to provide more employment opportunities for the residents by attracting foreigners to see the community's rich Maroon culture. In addition, the small area also houses the farm-themed military graveyard as well as the Gun Hill swimming pools, otherwise called bathing tank, and yet a parade ground that were all utilized Maroons in their fight against the British. However, when people note that none of these facilities receive any attention on Emancipation Day, quote unquote, I never see the culture minister come up here. PNP and JLP need to come together because it's not a political thing and to do something for us, Scott said. Alright, in the article. So, alright, so in a nutshell, I don't have to summarize it like I usually do. I'll just skip to the point where now, I understand the thing with the Maroons and Metis Maroon community is that, yeah, the Maroons were heroes, that men them fought against the British and they were kicking the British ass. If those know Jamaicans history understand that. Now, I understand like the downside came like afterwards when Maroons signed that treaty with the British to actually side with the British for a reason, and they actually worked against other rebels in the country to help protect the British rule. There has been kind of like a hatred for the Maroons by some of the other communities at that point. So the Maroons, it's been like a bittersweet. They had a kind of a bittersweet position in his Jamaican history. Like on one side, there are these noble heroic freedom fighters, and then they're then seen as these traitors. And the reason why I'm saying that is that I'm wondering. I won't say I'm wondering. It's most likely the reason why a lot of these Maroons have been marooned, no pun intended, by is that I think there's some of these other communities who just remember the Maroons as these traitors, and that there's basically saying that it doesn't matter what that they serve heroes. Some of them just receive them as traitors. And yes, this is not me just making this up. I've talked to people through the years who've kind of had like a love-hate relationship with the Maroons, and they go also didn't help with some, not all the Maroons, people that they're currently, not all of them, I'm not going to put this all, but I think there's some who basically not owned up or apologized for helping the British later, and so I think that just probably helped to kind of foster this kind of hate towards them. And I'm not saying that this is the only reason, but I'm guessing this is one of the reasons why there's these other communities outside the Maroons who pretty much say we don't really fuck with you like that anymore. But the thing is though that they did say that in the past there were more attempts to include the Maroon communities in Emancipation, but not so much more according to what Maroon-Town and Flagstaff are saying. But But my thing is this: is that I think you have to kind of remember the Maroons. You have to acknowledge the Maroons' part contribution, whether in for better and worse. So I mean, I don't think that they should just leave the Maroons out. I mean, you have to remember what they did again for better and worse, and that because you can't just omit or just exclude the Maroons in these festivities if this is what the claim is. So hopefully this works out because you have to understand, like you have to understand, yeah, there are Maroons who are these noble heroes who help in the fight against colonialism. And yeah, I know then there's some Maroons went on the coon train afterwards, and so and yeah, I know there'll be some justifications why they went on the coon train, but it is what it is. But it's so on. But again, you have to kind of acknowledge the Maroons for Maroons for better and worse. So I'm just hoping that this all gets resorted. I know Emancipation Day is tomorrow, but let's hope this gets resolved and hopefully the Maroons should be included in it. All right, and yeah, if whatever issues they had with the Maroons, I think just put it to the side and just have to acknowledge that the Maroons are a part of Jamaican history. So I can say and just record.